I've been really wanting to play some Try, and because Try is not really an online experience I can have anymore, I guess this is the closest thing to that. And quite frankly, I'm A-okay with that. This game is technically better than Try, it's just the only thing that made Try better was that it had a better community. But, yeah. It's just good to be back here. It's a lot more enjoyable to play online in this game as compared to Generations Ultimate, and it really does put it into perspective playing Generations Ultimate these days, and I definitely will continue playing that game. I'm not intending on ceasing my play with that game, and I'm also intending on continuing pretty consistently with the Hunting with Purpose series. But, yeah, playing Generations Ultimate has made it really, really clear that with every single iteration in the series, the online community is going to only get worse and worse each and every time. So with Try, the online community was amazing. Keeping in mind I cannot speak for the communities of Monster Hunter 1 or Monster Hunter 2 DOS. I did not play those games, so I do not know what the online community was like back then. Probably even better, realistically. But, yeah. With Try, amazing online community. Then we get to 3 Ultimate. It became a little bit worse. I knew I was going to get hit by that. It's really annoying. I generally don't go Blade Master with Elatrion these days, so I'm a little bit rusty with what's needed. But, yeah. I guess I'll get the paralysis off eventually. But yeah, Try had an amazing community, and then I came into this game and was quite disappointed by the community that was here. It was nowhere near as good as it was in Try. I suppose I was expecting it to be more or less the same people moving on to the next game. That was not the case. And then, I guess I was a little bit disillusioned by that, but I continued on anyway. And then 4 Ultimate came out, and I was, at that point, very intimately introduced to how crap an online community can actually be. And then, pretty much at the genesis of this not live stream, I'm very used to saying live stream series these days, at the genesis of this recording series, I was actually having a lot of problems actually getting a first recording that I was happy with, because I was constantly ranting about how much 4 Ultimate was pissing me off. And so, yeah, eventually I got the first part that was uploaded back in September of 2015, and you can listen to me talking about how I wasn't going to rant about 4 Ultimate in that recording, because that was pretty much the bane of all of the recordings that I had done before that point that were never uploaded. Now, I've actually done many attempts at recording this game in the last, 8 months or so, and they've all failed horribly because they just end up being annoying, because I either A, spend 30 minutes trying to get into a good room, or B, rant about something. It's either the French players on Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, it's either Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, or, something else. Honestly, I'm always having a rant while playing this game. It seems that the only thing that I can absent-mindedly talk about as I play this game is things that annoy me. And it just annoys me having to listen to myself talk about that, so I'm going to do my best to avoid that. Now, the thing with 4 Ultimate is that it's actually considerably better than the community now existing in Generations Ultimate. So Generations Ultimate is pretty much the worst fucking online community I have ever seen. It is so bad. It is actually almost intolerably bad. And I have been, I've played Call of Duty for a period of time. Like I have been in some really shit communities. And we're talking some bad communities I've been in. And Generations Ultimate, if not the worst, very close to the worst. It's just so bad. There is no culture. It's like a bad joke. You failed with that binder, by the way. Not that you need me to tell you that. But seriously, it's just so bad, it's laughable. Sometimes I sit back and laugh at how bad the Generations Ultimate community is. And the funny thing is, so many of those people have got no idea that it's so bad, because they've actually experienced nothing better than that. Because, Generations Ultimate's the only freaking game they've played. And, yeah, it's just incredible how bad the Generations Ultimate community is, and I suppose you guys are thinking, okay, well, you keep saying it's bad, Doomlink, tell us why it's bad. Okay, well, first and foremost, you have people who are so incredibly impatient that they will not wait for you to take as much as 2 minutes to get ready for a quest before they get pissed off and leave. As well as that, you have this terrible, I don't even know how to refer to it, sportsmanship? Huntsmanship? I don't even know how to refer to it. Maybe we can call it huntsmanship or something. We'll create a word for it. It's basically this, it's a frame of mind where you find it to be acceptable to clear the fuck out of a room as soon as a quest has failed. It's the kind of mind frame or state of mind or way of thinking, however you want to refer to it, where it's okay to just completely bail out of a room when things don't go well, or if it takes too long to get ready. You know, it's just this instant gratification way of looking at things, and it's so bad. And the quality of conversation is bottom of the barrel with those people. And I was always ranting about how low the quality of conversation was with people in 4 Ultimate. Well, as it turns out, it can get worse. And that is what Generations Ultimate is. It's just an absolute shitfest. There is no communication. The communication is go. That's the communication. Go. Let's go. It's like... ugh. It's very, very disappointing that is what the Monster Hunter series has become. But I suppose I'd better start getting used to it. I haven't actually charged up my sword at all. Let's do that right now. I've been spending more time actually, doing my commentary than actually playing the game. And I do generally find playing the game to be important. I have gone and paralysed this Elatrion in the worst possible place, but fortunately Demi, at the very least, can make use of this. Where are the other people? Hold on. Okay, so one of them is back at the camp. I don't even know what to call it. I guess it's a camp. And, yeah. Jelly. I don't even know if that's... I don't think it's a French name. Maybe it is. But, yeah, this Jelly guy, I don't know. He was not close to the monster at that time. Really bad timing for that paralysis. Hopefully I can get off a second one at some point. Oh, dear. But anyway, the point is I needed to come back to this game and experience better Monster Hunter. I do enjoy Generations Ultimate for a number of reasons, but the online experience is kind of important for me when I'm playing a Monster Hunter game. I don't really have that many friends to play Monster Hunter with, so especially ones that are in my time zone that actually sort of work together with me in that way. Not, different meaning behind that. As in, their time zones work together with mine. That's what I meant by that. So, don't really have that going on, so hunting with random people is it's a big part of my experience, and I can tell you very, very honestly that Generations Ultimate is a shocking level of bad, and that was good timing to get hit by a lightning bolt right there, because that was shocking as well. Ha ha ha! Anyway, so, seriously. Not going to rant about Generations Ultimate forever, but it's bad. The community's bad, and this community by comparison is just stellar, and even this was kind of terrible after having played Tri, so it's all a matter of perspective, it's all a matter of comparison. You don't really know how good or how bad something is until you've seen a comparison both ways, so yeah. As far as the currently playable Monster Hunter games are concerned, this is the furthest on the positive end of the spectrum, and the furthest on the negative end of the spectrum is Generations Ultimate. What about World, Doomlink? Well, that would be on the furthest end of the negative spectrum if it were a Monster Hunter game. Now, I'm actually going to take this opportunity, I'm going to treat that as a segue to talk very briefly about World. I'm not talking about that game anymore. I'm not even going to explain why. I'm not talking about it anymore. And I will not ever play it ever again. Now, this is not a new revelation. The latter is not a new revelation. I have not been willing to ever touch that game ever again for at least a month, or at least 2 months, something like that. Around the time Iceborne was first... well, not first announced. It was when it got its first reveal trailer with the new monsters, the first new monsters for it. It was around that time when I said, never playing this game ever again. Never. Never, never, never. Fuck this shit. And so that is pretty much what's happening with World. And if anyone ever refers to World in the live stream when I'm recording, I will say, sorry, I don't discuss that game. And that's it. Because the fact of the matter is, I do not want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But every time someone will mention it, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault. I can feel myself getting really fucking angry as I start to talk about this, but it's not their fucking fault. But all I want is to go back in time to a time when World never existed, because I didn't realise how great of a fucking life that was until World came out and life would never be the same again. Okay? That is literally how I feel about that pile of shit people call Capcom's best-selling game. It can fuck off. And I will never talk about it again. And it makes me more angry than any other game I've ever discussed. It makes me more angry than any game I've ever played. And I have never given a video game more chances to win me over than Monster Hunter World. And every single time I return to that game, I play it for less of a length of time, and I become more angry than ever each time I stop. And I'm left going, this is a fucking abomination, okay? This has been like a year and a half in the making, my current emotions right now. It's been a year and a half of me stewing in my fucking rage with this game. Every day, someone mentions that fucking game. Every day I have to think about it. I don't want to think about it. I want to just go away. I don't even want to think about that game anymore. It doesn't fucking exist to me. I don't want it to exist to me at the very least. I can't exactly sell my PC version of the game. I've uninstalled the thing. Can't really sell it. I didn't even know we were doing turns. What the fuck? Okay, well, what's the, advanced /A+/fun? Well, okay. Apparently we're doing turns. I guess I'll select a quest. And that pretty much right there will be my opportunity to never discuss that fucking game ever again. And if you people need a reason as to why I dislike World so much, hey, not talking about it. Because that's one of the reasons why I keep talking about it. It's because what are people's first desires when they hear me talk about World negatively? Why, Doomlink? What's so bad about it? Well, guess what happens then? I have to keep fucking talking about it. And then I get to elaborate on it. And then I get more pissed off because I'm focusing on the negative aspects. Let's fight 3 Go Ball. Alright, so we're going to do 3 Go Ball. And I'm currently using probably one of my favourite lance designs in the entire series. But sadly, this is actually one of the only abyssal laggy weapons that I do not have fully upgraded. And I don't know why. I think it's because I don't really use lance in Portable Third or 3 Ultimate, because of course in Tri, I did use the lance a lot, and I became very used to what was at that time a new mechanic called weapon countering. And unfortunately, they changed the weapon counter to only be possible, or the lance counter, so only be possible after 2 hits, and not possible after 3 hits like it was originally, which was kind of terrible for me because I became very used to being able to counter after 3 hits. So it was pretty annoying for me when I went and played this game, and also Portable Third beforehand. I didn't really care about Portable Third because that was just not... I did not use lance in that game at all. But, yeah, in this game I wanted to touch lance a little bit more, and I was left kind of frustrated by that change. I understood why they made that change. It looks like I don't have any null berries at all. That's kind of annoying. I'll have to go and buy some from the granny when she sells them. But anyway. Oh, I remember that armor set. I used a very similar set to that. Dragon Attack +2, Evasion +2, Peak Performance Focus. Yeah, that's very nearly the same set that I used. That was my first greatsword set in this game, I think. But anyway, I'll see you guys once we're in the quest. Now, it was quite funny, we ended up having a pre-quest discussion with Demi relating to Jerry... What is your deal? This guy, I'm telling you, he's hunter rank 999. He's probably got a screw loose. I've discussed this before. People who play a lot of Monster Hunter in these games, a lot of them, they don't really look at life as you and I might look at life. I don't really know what it is. There's something missing. I don't know if it's common sense. I don't know if it's like... they're missing something, basically. But why would you disconnect me for that? Why would you... Okay, the discussion that was had... Let's have a look at the discussion, ladies and gentlemen. This is very important. Oh, I can't even... Well, it was recorded anyway. I'll show you guys the discussion right now on screen. Basically, all that was said was... Goebel is weak to dragon. Not weak to dragon, sorry. That was the point. It was the fact that Goebel was not weak to dragon. And then you had that Jerry guy using a dragon set with a dragon greatsword. My point was, this guy's using the Great Kelby Deer Shot on a triple monster quest, where the monsters have such little health that it's just ridiculous to even use that weapon anyway. And more than anything else, it's basically inconsequential whether this guy is using dragon or water or fire. It doesn't matter. Like, these things are going to die really quickly. And yet this guy is getting the shits because I've mentioned that. And I didn't say it in a nasty way. I said it in a very matter-of-fact way. I even added an LOL in there to sort of make it clear that I'm trying to be lighthearted and not accusing. So basically, I'm going to play a game with this guy where I keep joining back, and he can keep kicking me. And I've done this more times than you can imagine. And I will do this over and over and over again until he just stops kicking me. And I can tell you that I have about a 99% success rate with this. The last time that I actually did this was with a guy during one of my my live stream recordings. I think it might have been... I think it was Life Hunts 3. And I was discussing the aftermath of it live at that time. I only needed to join back twice. He kicked me once, joined back, kicked me again, joined back, then he left me alone. That's the latest one. Now, unfortunately for this guy, he's currently playing in an environment where there are not many other people around. There is a very, very low chance, if any chance at all. Lev. This is going to be fun. So this guy is basically throwing a little temper tantrum because he's hunter rank 999. And see, look at this, like, this is what... And some of you might find me to be a little bit petty to even waste the time engaging with this person. I can assure you now that if there were more people playing this game, I would not waste the time or the energy to do this. But we are in an environment now where there are 14 people playing at a given time, with a maximum of like 25. Like 25 when it's frickin', like when it's on fire, you know, when lots of people are playing, we're looking at 25 people. And this guy wants to throw a little kitty temper tantrum because I dared to call him out for using, by a long shot, the most overpowered set on a monster that is going to die super fast, and then he wants to say, oh, he's not weak to dragon. It's like, well, doesn't really matter, does it, mate? As I've said, what I'm doing right now has a very high success rate, because eventually they just give up, they don't care anymore. It's particularly effective when I'm the only one who's going to be joining, right? And then, the first time I actually joined this room, this guy actually went AFK and we just hunted without him anyway. So we can just... Not that he'd understand what the word tantrum means. I don't think he's very good with English. But I mean, it's possible that his poor English has resulted in him misunderstanding. I really don't know, but it's like, what more can be said? It's like, I have mentioned that people who play this game too much are just ridiculous. Like, they've got problems, these people. I don't know if they play video games too much to the extent where they just go crazy, or it's like a Monster Hunter thing. I don't know. I've got no idea how it works. But as you can see, I think this guy's pretty much given up. It's a lot easier when you take my tactic, when there's literally no one else joining, because it makes them realize, oh shit, I'm stuck with this guy. Like, no one else is gonna come. Not only to fill up the space, but to actually depart only with that person and then leave me here alone. You know, it's a little bit of a weird battle that goes on. And I would just stay in the room anyway to spite the person, you know. Because I have the time to do that. You know, I can just stop the recording now and just piss him off, you know. It doesn't matter. I can just spend hours doing that. Because it would bother this person to no end. I could go longsword with this person. I don't like the defense with this set, so that's a little bit of a rough situation when fighting Lucid Naga Cougar, but we'll do it anyway. What is my ice weapon even? Glacial Diva. Fair enough. So what have we got? Defense-wise. 594. Can I upgrade this any further? I actually don't know. I have a feeling that I can't. I've probably max upgraded it. Yeah, it's max upgraded. So, generally I would say that if you're at G rank level, you want to have a minimum of 600 defense in this game. But, whatever. We'll stick with this thing. Should be fine. And, oh, he went and soloed the thing. That's pretty funny. I should have just readied up and gone with him. Alrighty. I'll just ride this out, and I'll see you guys when he does return. And I'll be sure to join whatever quest he does, whether I'm elementally appropriate or not. See you guys then. Alright, we are back, and as you can see, I do have my own room now. I ended up making a room which is very aptly named Just Relax, Relaxed Hunting, which is definitely necessary after things like this. Child, your fucking mother, you are idiot, or you are a idiot, and then I don't know what that's supposed to be. I guess a winking face that's waving. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, Dark Lord's asking if we want to go, and I would say yes. No need to wait for a fourth. Basically, what happened was I kept on joining his room again, and some other people were coming into that room, and they were sort of wondering what the hell was going on, and in amongst all the confusion, because at this point this guy started to freak out because these two people joined. He was on his solo quest and these two people joined, and I started typing to them, telling them what's going on, because in 3 Ultimate most people do type. I'll mention also I do have the windows open now, so there might be a little bit of background noise. Hopefully not, but I just wanted a little bit of fresh air in my room. But yeah, so I started typing to them what was going on, and this guy freaked out. Oh, we're going smoke bombs, that's a good idea. Didn't even think to do that. But, yeah, so I started telling them what was going on and how this guy was basically being a child and constantly kicking me, having a little temper tantrum. And he abandoned his solo quest to come back and kick me at that point. And then obviously I kept joining back while they were trying to organise an Event Bracky quest. And of course, Event Bracky is probably the hardest monster in the entire Monster Hunter series. And I was kind of down just for fun, but of course the host was not. He was not down for the event. And, yeah, he kept kicking me in the process, and eventually everyone was getting kicked because he was sort of flailing around angrily. Like, that's what I imagined. He obviously wasn't actually flailing around, but in terms of how he was acting, he was figuratively flailing around like an angry, I don't know, mentally retarded person. I don't know how else to say it. But, yeah, eventually I said to one of those people, hey, do you want to make a room? This guy's being an idiot, and he just left. I could tell that he left and wasn't kicked because he went to the exit and then left. But he never appeared after that, so I don't know where he ended up. But I ended up making a room anyway, because I decided that it would probably be better if I got a room together. And, yeah, here we are. And in the process, because I referred to that guy as a child, he started short messaging me saying, "You're a child, a fucking child, your fucking mother." He said, "Child, your fucking mother." I don't know what that means, but it must mean something in his language. I think he might be a Spanish-speaking person, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. Don't really need to deal with that guy anymore, and his stupidity is more or less on camera, I guess. But yeah. He can enjoy being a sad little person who kicks everyone for basically not doing anything. Basically making him a little bit annoyed about something, I don't know. As I have mentioned before, these people have serious problems. They do not think like you or I, and sometimes that can be a perfectly fine thing. Not everyone has to think the same way. But this guy, and many like him, just do not have an ounce of common sense, and they do not operate in a sensitive, in a sensible way. They do not operate sensibly at all. They're just ridiculous people. But anyway, that's how that goes, and quite frankly, I am done with that for now. I was going to write him out, but I thought, well, if he's kicking other people, then maybe it's just better to just move on.